Hello my dear friends, and welcome to my channel. Don't forget to make yourself a cup of tea and snacks, because today we have very interesting stories, and one of them is a story about a woman with children who wanted to ride snowmobile without permission, and then caused a scene. Please subscribe if you haven't, and I hope you'll enjoy it. So I recently went to Walmart. I don't generally go to Walmart because I don't like the atmosphere, but been stuck at home for a while and needed some social interaction and wanted to grab some stuff to work on the outside area. Just some plants and soil and whatnot. While walking through Walmart I decided I would look at the video game section. I was looking at the Nintendo section when I noticed that they have one new Nintendo 2DS XL left. Not only is this last one, it's the last Nintendo console they have. I was blown away. Recently I had been doing some DoorDash to earn some extra cash, so I decided to splurge. I grabbed a person and was asking about honoring the game's top price. Walmart still offers the price match guarantee, and GameStop had theirs $50 cheaper. The person agrees and says he needs to go find someone with keys to open the case. I stand there waiting and flipping through Reddit for about 10 minutes or so when a woman, EP, her son, Brad, and a Walmart associate comes up. I look up, nod my head and look back at my phone. Out of the blue I hear the kid shout that one right there. The shouting had startled me, so I looked up to see the Walmart associate, WA, getting ready time unlock the case. I then stop him and say, "Excuse me, I have been here for about 10 minutes waiting for someone to unlock the case to grab that item. Keep in mind that the only item in the case is the Nintendo DS. Well, sorry, but we beat you to it. Better luck next time. Maybe you should grow up instead of wasting your time on stuff made for kids." I kid you not, these were her words. No exaggeration. I was immediately furious, and it takes a lot to push me over the edge. How could you talk to a total stranger like that? I wasn't rude in the slightest. Just mentioned I had been waiting for someone already. Now I understand. Am I really such a jerk that I am going to deprive a kid, maybe 10 years old, of the only DS they have? Well, yes, merely because I had been waiting and she was rude about it. Ma'am, that was uncalled for. There is no need to be rude. I have been waiting for a WA for almost 15 minutes to get this item, and unless you have been waiting longer I'm going to stand firm that I have the right to it. That's total crap. I have been here for almost an hour and been waiting for a Washington for almost that whole time to unlock the case. Wait, you just came up to me a few minutes ago. If this guy has been waiting longer, it's his discretion on what he wants to do. I had asked someone before you, duh. Not a joke, she said, duh. Where is the manager? This is ridiculous. I'm not going to tell my son, who has wanted this for over a year, he can't get one because some jerk wants to play with kids' toys. I would like to reiterate that few will believe this, but this story is true, and there is very little to no exaggeration at all. This woman really was this crazy. Mom? Tell him to get it. Tell him to get it. At this point the kid keeps chanting this because the WA has stopped until the manager arrives. Wow, you are really going to make a child cry over your selfishness. You really are a piece of work, you know that. Do you know how sad it is to let a child cry because you literally are taking the toy right out of his hand? Ma'am, please calm down. There is no need to be nasty. The manager will come and we will see who inquired first. This whole time I kept completely quiet. WA, the first one I had asked to open the case comes up, we will call him WA2. Sorry that took so long, I couldn't find a key. Is there a problem? At this point the two WAs are discussing the situation. I am texting the insanity of this to my wife, and the kid is crying really loudly. Finally the manager arrives. WM goes and talks to WAs for a few minutes, and EP answers her phone. I know I'm taking too long. Some weirdo is trying to take the last toy, and the moron at Walmart is actually trying to let a grown man take a toy away from a kid. I know, what a joke, it's okay, the manager is here. WM then signals for me to walk over away from the kid and mother. So based on what I know of the situation, you were here first. Now that means it's up to you what you want to do. I understand this lady has been very rude, but I just wanted to talk with you for a second. I am keen to keep things calm over here, so what I can do for you is give you the original discount plus $20 additional off when the next round comes in if you are okay, worth waiting. I'll admit I'm not stoked about it, but I appreciate your help. Thank you. This entire time EP went off to the WA claiming that this was by far the most insane thing she had ever seen. Walmart supports weirdos like me, and then calling the news and informing them that they let a weirdo but all the kids' toys right in front of the kids' eyes. Okay, this gentleman has decided to wait for them to come back in stock if you want to take this one. Are you kidding me? This idiot kept me here for over 20 min, it was more like 10 tops, just to finally agree to let my son have it. Screw him. I spoke with him and we came to an agreement on terms that worked best for everyone involved. Wait, he was the person who caused all this crap and you offered him free crap, that's crap. I was the one that was subject to sitting here while he played this stupid game. What are you going to do for me for my time and letting this make my son so upset? Ma'am, you are getting the item. I am sorry that this took a second, but I had to get all the information. That doesn't answer my question. You're letting this loser get all kinds of discounts for literally being a creep and an idiot and making my son cry, but I get nothing but what I deserve in the first place. God, this is insane, and Walmart corporate will be hearing about this. At this point I walked away and chuckled to myself. A week later I got the call that they had another one in and went to pick up. Wow, just wow. With her acting like that, I would have told the manager that I changed my mind and that I would be buying it today. The audacity of some people astounds me for real. So this happened about a week ago when I was asked to fill in for a friend at a ski center. Yes, ski centers are allowed to be open in my country due to it being outside. The layout of the area is somewhat important to the story, so allow me to give you a short tour. There are 5 ski lifts from left to right. Family lift, kiddie lift, which is just a rope that the kids hold onto, and it takes them about 10 meters up, 2 anchor lifts beside each other, and the last one leads to the street, which is for rails and jumps. None of them are gondola lifts as the center only requires anchor lift. I was working at the so-called family lift, which is meant for families with little kids. This means that the slope is small compared to the rest, so that everyone in the family can ride together. Next to the lift I was working at is a sledding slope, which is for people who just want to come sledding, and this is free, meaning you don't need a ski pass to enter. Also, every lift has a snowmobile, and I had mine parked next to the lift, so I could have somewhere to sit if I wanted to, and due to the cold the suspension was somewhat frozen, which meant that when someone took a seat on the snowmobile it made a sound. Now to the story, we have entitled Snow Karen. ESK, Hexpen. HS1 and 2, and me being me. I was helping a young girl onto the lift as she was having problems. That was one of my tasks at work, and when I had my back turned while helping the girl I heard the suspension creak, and my first thought was that, oh, my turn to go get lunch, as I thought it was my co-worker, but nope. I turn around and see 2 of Karen's Hexpen trying to start the snowmobile. Hey. What on earth do you think you're doing? We want to drive the snowmobile, yeah. We're going to drive it up the slope. No, you can't do that. You are not old enough, you have to be at least 16 to drive one, and they were about 5 or 6 years old, and you can't drive this unless you work here. But mum said we could. I don't know what your mum says, you are not allowed on it. I need you to leave, and guess who cut me off? Why are you talking to my babies? Ma'am, are they your Hexpen? Yes. Now tell me why you are talking to them. They were on the snowmobile and trying to start it to take it for a joyride. So? I told them they could. Ma'am, they can't do that, they're not old enough, they don't work here, and they haven't been trained on how to operate it. Oh, stop being so rude. Just teach them how to operate it now. I can't, they're not old enough, and unless you work here you are not allowed not drive it on the area. Mum, I wanna drive. Tell him to start it. Now look at what you've done. You made them sad. I demand you start the snowmobile and let them ride. At this point one of our regulars and former co-worker came to the lift and gave me a look. You need help, son. I told him, oh hi Mike, not real name. Tell, insert boss's name here, I said hello. I know it sounds cheesy to say we used a code, but we have all been told that if we are in a situation where we need the owner and we don't want to say it out loud for one reason or another, to if possible tell someone who works or has worked there to tell the owner I said hello, and the boss would come down if possible. Anyway, he understood and he went up with the lift and down the slope towards the office. Now during that 10-second window the ESK had climbed the fence and joined her kids at the snowmobile to get it started. And then something struck me, and I don't know why I didn't notice it before, but no one of them was in ski gear, no helmets, ski boots, skis or anything, and the ESK had left 2 sleds behind the fence, me, still somehow polite. Ma'am, why aren't any of you in ski gear? Because we decided to just go sledding. You can't be on this side of the gate if you aren't planning to ski. Yes, we can, we are paying customers, we ate inside the restaurant. Doesn't matter, you can't be here unless you are going to ski. Now shut, you little idiot, we are paying customers, and that means we have the right to be here and the right to ride the snowmobile. At this point I lost it, and I decided to use my army voice. We have compulsory military service in my country. Okay, that's it, get off the snowmobile now. I commanded them, and they all looked shocked. I guess they never expected a reaction like that from me. How dare you talk to me like that? You need to show your elders some res. I cut her off. I have tried to be polite and to tell you kindly to leave the snowmobile, and yet you have refused. Do you realize that your kids could die or get injured or even worse, kill or injure someone if they drove this thing? You and your kids need to leave, as you clearly have no right nor deserve the right to be here. At this point she tried to play the victim card when a family of 6 came to the lift. Help. Help. This boy is harassing me and my babies. Luckily for me, the family didn't believe her when I explained the situation, and I assured them that I didn't need help. Now the ESK decided that she would play the infamous "I know the owner" card. You know I know the owner, so unless you want to lose your job, I suggest you start this snowmobile. Don't know why she didn't care about my warning about her kids killing or injuring themselves or others. Oh, you know the owner? Yes. At this point I saw the owner walking towards us as the regular had sent him. Well, here is your chance to explain to him why I should get fired, I said as I waved at him. I could see the ESK worry a little, but she quickly shook it off. So what is the problem here then? Your employee has been so rude towards me and my kids and refused to let my babies ride the snowmobile, even though I know we are allowed to do so as paying customers. No. You are not allowed to because it is dangerous and wasteful. Also, I can see that none of you are dressed to be on this side of the fence, and thus I can assume you have not paid to be here. Well, what about him? She said as she pointed at me. He is not dressed for skiing either. Well, that is because he works here and he should not be dressed for skiing. ESK, slowly realizing she is fighting a losing battle, decided to go for the harassment claim. Well, he harassed me and my babies, and I demand he is fired for his behavior. Now the owner is a chill guy and has a great sense of humor and does not take crap from anyone, and he saw he had an amazing chance to strike down this Karen. Well then, should we see what audio the cameras have recorded? No, that is not necessary, but I demand he be fired for his behav. The owner cut her off. And I guess I should also tell my daughter that her boyfriend is a horrible person for harassing a mother and her children, right? Oh, how devastated she will be, he said sarcastically. You see, what the ESK didn't know is that I have been dating the owner's daughter for 2 years, and when I have time I spend the weekends at her family's house. Now the ESK realized that her battle was lost and just on cue started shrieking about how she will leave a horrible Facebook review, how the police will hear about this, how she will never come back because we are so horrible to customers, yada yada yada, you guys know the drill. After she left, me and the owner started laughing, and he said he would save the security footage because he wanted to keep this as a Karen takedown trophy. Not long after I got my lunch break, and I called my girlfriend to tell her about the encounter, and she started laughing as well. I do hope I get to see her again, so I can ask her if she would like to see the owner again. Wow, your manager is a great guy. She's lucky she didn't get arrested for trespassing. And also, I feel like anyone who keeps on referring to their kids as my babies for so long has a big chance of being a Karen. Little backstory, I work as an actress in a haunted house. I love this job so much, I look forward to it every year. Now, we have an age limit. You have to be 16 or older to attend alone, anyone younger must be accompanied by a parent. We really stress that anyone below the age of 16 really shouldn't go through it all, it's not meant for kids, but a lot of parents for some reason don't understand this. Now, on to the story. You already know. PK. Poor kid. Seriously, I felt bad for her. Me. The main zombie of this story. So my job is to roam around the lines outside of the attraction to entertain customers while they wait to enter the house. I take pictures with them, scare them, basically put on a show to entertain them. As I'm stalking around, I see a small child in line. Wonderful, someone brought a kid. That means lots of crying. However, the kid made eye contact with me and smiled. Now we do have the occasional brave kid who actually enjoys it. I assumed this was the case. I slowly walked towards her, drooling and putting on my usual zombie show. This girl can't be older than 8. As I get closer, I can see she's getting a bit more uncomfortable, so I back off a bit. I give her a little wave, letting her know I'm friendly and don't want to bother her. She waved back, and her mom turned around to see what she was waving at. She flipped out. She started screaming at me that I was a harasser for looking at her daughter, that I was scaring her and should be ashamed of myself. How dare I scare her daughter, I traumatized her for life, blah blah blah. All the while her daughter is more afraid of her own mother than the zombie in front of her. I lower my voice so no other customers can hear, as I don't want to break character too much. I explain that she paid for her daughter to come in here, we scare people at a haunted house, if she is really that scared I'd be happy to escort them out. That seemed to make her even more upset and said I was discriminating her and her daughter just because she's a child. That's when she broke a major rule. She shoved me. I mean shoved. I fell backwards into a big mud puddle. Now I've been pushed before. Some people just have that reaction when they're scared and they quickly apologize. I wasn't hurt, just dirty. However, this was on purpose, not an accident. Policy says I have to report it. I went over to the police we have on scene and they had to escort the mom and daughter off the property. The mom was screaming the whole time about what a rip-off this was, how they have child predators working here, blah blah blah. Lesson to all parents out there, if you bring a kid to a haunted house, be aware that we are going to scare them. It's just our job. You scared a little girl at a haunted house that paid to get scared. You sick harasser. I think that's totally a crap and a mother got what she deserved. But I'm sorry for a little girl that she should have gone through her mom's behavior. Well guys, that's it for today. If you end up enjoying this video please consider subscribing, and if you missed the last episode on the channel I'm gonna link it right here. The story is about a woman who demanded OP do errands for her because she wants it. Check this out if you haven't, and I'll see you in my next video.